Morning, everyone. Greg here, and I'm back at the workbench trying to keep things afloat down here. Let me tell you, modeling time and bench time and video making time has been hard to come by recently. It's just that time of year where you're fighting the grass. You should mow the lawn every third day if it ain't raining, and we have plenty of rain and cool temperatures, and that makes the grass grow. So spend a lot of time outdoors trying to corral that whole thing, and with all the other things we got going on, my wife is busy taking care of her mother, so she's trying to help take care of two places, and then I'm trying to keep up with everything that I gotta do around here. So I squeeze in a little time when I can. So first of all, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an update on where we are with this little dually truck. I've got her up on, well, instead of all fours, all sixes. Got the motor built. You know, there's not a whole lot to the engine on this thing, 3 or 4 pieces, and it's good. So I did try to weather up the bottom of this thing a little bit, the chassis plate. I still got more to do on it, but you know, I putzed around with it with the craft paints for an hour or so. I think it looks okay. I'm gonna still try to mud it up a little bit. So that's been ongoing. I did get some paint on the cab and the body, and this here is Rust-Oleum khaki. It's like a camouflage color. And I thought, yeah, well, why not for a backwoods truck? You know, it's gonna be out in the woods, on the farm, or contractor work, or whatever. I mean, it's got a nice, it's a flat color. I may put a sunlight gloss coat on it. I don't know. See what happens. But I'm working on that. Plus, you know, trying to do everything else. So, I missed Wednesday. What did you buy Wednesday? Because we had something going on. So, Thursday, Friday, it's like those days are shot all of a sudden before you get a chance to spend an hour at the workbench. And you know, I try to do mine early in the morning. I try to at least get to the bench by 7, till 7:30 at the latest. I mean, once in a while I'll get down here at 5. Just depends on, you know, how I feel about it. So it's just been busy. But I did get a few stash ads, you know, so I'd like to show you. I got a couple of these cases at Hobby Lobby. One of them I've already used up. I had to find a case to fit my groovy grater, so I had to rob one of the old Lindbergh cases. So I bought 2 because I'll need one for something here, I don't know. But we made a trip to Ollie's, and somehow conveniently, Hobby Lobby is exactly next door to Ollie's in the same plaza. So you go to one, you go to the other. You know, it's a given. You got to do it. So I always go to Ollie's first because I figure, well, you know, even for 40% off, Hobby Lobby doesn't always upgrade their stash of kits. It's the same thing I've been looking at for 4 years. You know, every now and then you get a new release, and okay, but I got to find different stuff. So Ollie's usually fits the bill. And I got this one here. It's a Snap Type Max kit. Yeah, I always wanted one of these just because, you know, I like it, the car and the color. And I got to show you this here because this kind of blew my mind. You know, if you look at the box, only 43 pieces, molded in color. Okay, what color? Well, most of it is in, you know, black plastic, yeah, which is cool. But the body, holy cow. Is that a screaming color or what? Holy crap. Yeah, it about minded me when I opened the box. So I'm going to do something with this. I don't think I'm going to I'm going to paint it, but it's going to be more of a metallic green. But yeah, that's going to be cool. Cool kit. Yeah, you could always find something at Ollie's, especially $12.99. Gotta have it. Gotta be in the stash. And then another trip to Ollie's. Well, I was looking for something weird, different, and I found this guy. And this is, I believe it's a Convair Space Shuttlecraft. I don't know if this is a real thing or if it's some animated cartoon thing or a prototype of something. I have no idea. But you know what? I saw it, $12, 40 pieces. Sure, why not? I'll give her a go. It's always fun to come up with good stuff at Ollie's, because you just never know what you're going to see. You might see the same Atlantis kits over and over, but hey, Atlantis, they're made in USA, so, I'm not complaining. So that's about all I got for today. I guess I have to update you on something there. Last time I did a video, we did the whole thing with sirens and all that. It was like somewhat the order of the day, because there was a lot of sirens around our little town here in Western New York, and weird things going on. There's 2 major semi-truck accidents in the same day, in the same little community, about 4 miles down the road. Basically the area where I grew up, my stomping grounds, so I know that area quite well. Both involved rollovers, both involved some sort of an agricultural commodity. Let's put it that way for now. The first one, did not negotiate a curve or whatever happened and dumped a whole load of agricultural lime on the side of the road. Yeah, that's kind of a mess. The second one was just a little bit more complicated. And I'm surprised that this has not happened before, but a semi-trailer loaded with liquid cow manure bombarded down a steep, windy hill, crashed into the bridge at the bottom and dumped his whole entire friggin' load into the creek. A price trout stream, no less. And there's a falls just above, so basically flushed that right out of there so fast. By the time hazmat arrived on the scene, there wasn't a whole lot to clean up. It was just that fast. But it never even got a sniff in the media at all. And maybe it's just we're so far removed from major metro area that they don't care. I mean, they always have all these stories about pollution in the cities and this and that, but this is something that should never have happened. It was just a total failure on a lot of parties. And I know that over the years, and I worked in environmental conservation for 42 years, and you always thought, well, what if this happens? Are people prepared? And the little fire department where this happened, they were right Johnny on the spot on the scene, but something of this magnitude, yeah, you get on the phone, you call the DEC, you call the state troopers, you call hazmat. By the time those guys get around, well, they get the guy pried out of the truck, and thankfully he's okay, but there's charges pending on this whole situation. So I blabbed too long about this whole thing. I know I probably bored you to tears, but every now and then you gotta have a little bit of rant, because I just can't believe this had happened. It's just so, anybody lives around here would know better than to do that. Take a load of liquid shit down the hill, that hill, at the bottom where there's a trout stream and a famous waterfalls. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, guys, but enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll try to catch up with you again sometime soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.